Folks, this is what I got. It's supposed to rain tonight, so I'm trying to tarp set up using my thermal blanket. I rigged it sideways. It's not really, doesn't cover the whole hammock on both ends, but I'm going to try it to see. It's supposed to rain. It seems to have fairly decent coverage underneath. I think the main part of me will stay dry. But anyway, this is a pretty quick setup here. I set it up in the dark, used a couple of bungee cords and hooked it up. So this is what I'm doing tonight. I'm gonna test it out and see how we make out. It's supposed to go down to like 13 tonight, so hopefully all in all it'll be I'll be fairly dry in there. We'll see how it works out. Anyway, that hammock is really long. Like it's super long. So anyway, we'll see how it works and see how warm I stay. So here we are. I've done up my sleeping bag. Here I am. I don't know how good it's gonna show me, but we're in here. This is what we got. Anyway, it's like plus 13 out. Right down to bare essentials. We'll see how we make out. Have a good night, folks. It's like 10:30 at night. It's 11 o'clock and here comes the rain. Well, folks, how's it going? It was a good night. It rained pretty much all night. We got heavy cloud cover. It's like 7:30 in the morning. My hammock is actually damp around the edges. Even my sleeping bag, my foot box in my sleeping bag is damp. So but all in all, it's good and warm. Good and warm. I made out pretty well. It's the thermal blanket seemed to work pretty well up there as a tarp for something that would be a quick shelter. My hammock is very wet. It's soaked along the edges here from touching the blanket because I didn't quite have it laid out right. But all in all, it wasn't a bad sleep. I wasn't a bit cold. Like I said, I'm bare armed, so it was good. I slept for 7.5 hours easy. I woke up not sore or tired or nothing, so all in all, it's pretty good. Anyway, folks, I'm going to get up and go in the house and have a coffee and dry out my sleeping bag, and we'll talk to you folks later. This is how much it rained. My shoes were outside of my hammock. Water in my shoes. Everything's soaked. Folks, alright, a little test last night that I had with my hammock and my tarp. The problem I had is my hammock got wet because my tarp was touching the hammock, right? But what I found, even when I hooked the bungee cords to it, it actually tore the grommets right out of my space age tarp. It also wasn't tight enough this way, so I should have had a ridge line running from there all the way across so the tarp had something to rest on. Same as on this side. It come on hook 2 or 3 times. That side, well, it's ripped out too, and it wasn't that windy. It was fairly windy, but you can't really see it, but the hammock is soaked up top. It's pretty wet, so to bring it in the house and dry it. But all in all, I had a decent sleep. I stayed warm because of the sleeping bag, but the hammock or the tarp definitely has to be bigger. Definitely has to be bigger. So anyway, that's what I learned. I need a bigger tarp. I got a Tyvek tarp. I'm gonna try it next time. It's 10 by 10, so it's really big.